I'm Chris O'Neill from Sew the Distance. Welcome back to the April 2025 habit or goal update. It's a mouthful, isn't it? I have so much to share with you today, so I'm so glad you're here. And if you're new to this series, I have set goals for 2024. And each month or so, I would update in a video on how well I did on my quilting goals. And then I decided to keep going with it in 2025 with new goals. So my first 2025 goal is to control my no home zone. And I have to say I'm knocking it out of the park. In fact, I'm even thinking about possibly changing this goal back to the featherweight goal. If you remember in my goal announcement, I had changed it because of the shingles. Anyway, I'd love to hear what you think about this because I really am controlling that area of my sewing room so well. I'm so proud of myself. It didn't take long at all, and it's looking great. I am giving myself a 5 out of 5. My second goal is making sure that I'm intentional with my purchases, especially with the economy and everything going on. I'm really paying attention to what I spend and not going into purchases lightly. So I got my sewing machine serviced a couple weeks ago, and I ended up finding some fabric for my hexagon quilt. I love these fabrics. It really is going to help some of the busier fabrics be toned down for these backgrounds because I want a mix of busy black and white fabrics and more tone on tone black and white fabrics. I also purchased some new mesh bags because I'm a little addicted to these mesh bags. If you saw my organization video, you know I use these for scraps, and I had ones with black zippers. And when I saw these, I was like, I have to get these. Now the only downside is that the red, or what's supposed to be red, is more of a hot pink, but I'm just going with it. It's red in my eyes because the pink is very pink. You can see a picture here of them all, and oh, I love it so much. I also bought hardware for a bag that I'm making, which I'll show you in a few minutes. And I think that's it. I think that's all I spent. So I think I'm doing really, really well. That brings me to goal number 3, which is paring down my scraps. Now, I didn't do great at this month, other than, getting them into really pretty bags. I did work on, again, my hexagon quilt, and it's turning out so pretty. I think I have 29 of the 90 blocks that I need for this finished. Also, someone commented on the last habit update video that they'd love to see the white hexagon blocks intermixed with the black ones. And I did try that out. So here is a picture of that. I do like it. It's just not the look I'm going for. And if you know from my other videos, I'm more muted. I don't usually work with brights that much. So this is definitely pushing me out of my comfort zone, which brings me to my next goal and the one that I am most excited to tell you about. Oh, in goal number 3, I'm giving myself I had to look at my notes, a 3 out of 5 because I really didn't pare down those scraps as much as I would like to. Okay, on to the one that I'm really excited to tell you about. That is goal number 4. And that's breaking out of my comfort zone. So I did 2 really brave things this month. And I'm using the word brave loosely. I didn't run into any buildings and rescue kittens or anything like that. But I did get brave with my quilting life. One of the ways I did that is I took a backpack making class, and I decided to use blocks from a quilt, from a lessons from an old quilt. If you remember, I deconstructed this old quilt. I'll put all the links below and on my blog. But I ended up making this bag, look at this, with antique quilt blocks that I harvested, for lack of a better word, from an old quilt. In fact, this old quilt. I love this. I put an antique fabric on the inside. You can see there's snaps that hold the gusset. You can see that. Oh my goodness. I did use a newish fabric, this polka dot, which you've seen in other videos too, for the accents and stuff and the straps. Mostly for stability reasons. I wanted to make sure it was nice and strong in those areas. I also love how the polka dots go. I was brave with this because I didn't know if I was going to actually make this bag or a different bag. I wasn't sure how the old blocks would work in this bag. So I cut out 2 sets. I cut out a traditional set, which you can see here again, and I cut out this set. But I am still gonna make this other bag. I think I'm gonna make it for my mom. I love how this turned out. And this is a great example of how you can take a regular pattern and use some of your old blocks that you might have, or old quilts or pieces, to make something beautiful. It was a lot of fun. The other place that I was brave is I started using some rulers, dug into my ruler stash. So I pulled this one out, which is the Easy 3. and it makes the 60-degree equilateral triangles. In fact, I have 2 of these rulers in my stash. I can't even believe it. So I bought this twice. This is so bad. Anyway, this inspired me. I did like this ruler and the way you did it. It was okay, but as I'm doing it, I'm like, this is really fussy and not really my style. So I ended up pulling out another ruler, which was this one. Cut out a lot of blocks from a leftover fat quarter set that I had that's Tula pink. And again, I'm going bright. I don't know why I'm in this bright streak, but I went bright with it. I am having fun making that. So I think there's gonna be a video coming up on this. I promise it won't be the brights because I know that's not everybody's cup of tea. I'm going to probably do more muted tones. I was even thinking about a Christmas one. I don't know, there's something coming up. This was a lot of fun to work with. This was too, just was a little finicky, or is that a word? I think so. And I'm giving myself a 5 out of 5, obviously, on this one. That brings me to goal number 5, which is more movement breaks, taking better care of my health. So I have to say, I've been very discouraged this month. I ended up getting shingles, or the outbreak of the blisters, yet again. This is my 3rd time. I'm still in quite a bit of pain. I am getting massages. I'm under a doctor's care, all of that stuff. And he assures me that this happens and that it's going to just take many months to get better. I've struggled this month a lot with it, and you probably can tell because the content that I've been putting out hasn't been there. It's just been non-existent. So probably a week or 2 ago, I started getting back into some of the good habits that I had. One of them is having a time in the morning to do my devotions and to make lists and get ready for the day and mentally prepare for the day. I also bought myself a really pretty notebook. If you know me, I like pretty things like this. It keeps me motivated. This is my capture notebook. I used to do this all the time, where it was just a notebook that I put everything into. So if I was taking notes in a meeting or anything like that, it went in here. This has helped me a lot because it's keeping me on track. I started walking again, then the weather got bad and I stopped walking. So that's been not so great. I do need to move more. I have been putting on some pounds and I need to get better with that. But I am taking steps in the right direction. I'm thinking about buying one of those walking pads. Everyday Tasha, if you've checked out her channel, I'll link that below too. She has one, she uses it, and I'm thinking about getting one for myself because I think that would help me with movement breaks while I'm dealing with the crazy weather that we're having here in Pennsylvania. All in all, it wasn't a great month, so I'm giving myself a 2 out of 5, but next month is going to be even better. I hope you enjoyed this update. As always, everything's on my blog. You can check it out. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you take some time to sew, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.